Welcome back to another edition of the Locker Room Report. I'm Brady Beedon, joined, as always, every week by head coach Paul Winters. Coach, let's talk about the game at Davenport. You know, you're playing well. You had a nice come-from-behind effort to retake the lead. You get to force a huge fumble, take the lead, and then in the waning seconds, Davenport gets the final score. What do you think of the game in Davenport?
Well, I thought it was a great football game. Two teams that really played well on offense. I don't know if either one of us played super defense, but I thought that, you know, from our standpoint, we continued to fight back. We got a lead. We lost the lead. We went down by 2 scores, and then we came back and got the lead at the end of the game, and just not able to hold on.
Your kids kept playing hard the whole time. I thought there were a lot of effort plays. You saw someone like D lineman making plays down the field. Matt Bushman, I think he's the one who just ripped the football away on that last drive. I mean, that was a play where they got a first down in a critical spot and you forced the fumble. That has to be a positive sign as a coach to see that the effort's still there and they're still scratching and clawing to the very end.
Well, it's funny. Not only is the effort still there, we're probably giving greater effort now than we did earlier in the year when we were trying to figure out who we were. Our guys are playing as hard as you can possibly play, and you know, with all the things going against them, they're fighting.
Have to be happy with what the offense has done the last couple of weeks, putting up over 70 points combined the last 2 games. You're an offensive guy, so that has to make you happy seeing the points on the scoreboard.
Well, I like it that we can run the football. When you can run the football, you can put points on the board, you can control it. The thing that disappoints me is the last 2 weeks, the offense has had a chance to finish the game, so the defense didn't have to go out on the field and save it, and we weren't able to do that. We've got to get that fixed.
This past week, unlike previous weeks, it felt like the defense was in position to make plays. There weren't those blown coverages that you saw against Tech and Northern, but they were in position, and it feels like you just got to make a play at this point. Am I oversimplifying it, or is that what you saw on the film?
No, you're right. We had the right defenses called. We were in position to make plays. You know, you've got a 6'4" wide receiver on a 5'9" corner. That's a tough deal. So they made some plays just by physical, you know, dominance in those cases. But I think we're, you know, getting to the point where we'll make those plays. The biggest problem this past week is, you know, we had a 6'3" safety who didn't travel with us because of injury. So having Brian Hill there maybe changes that game. And, you know, he's a starter for us. So not having him, we also didn't have our top corner, Elijah Folks, you know, who's had a great season. So sometimes circumstances are beyond your control, and you just have to fight through it and next man up.
The circumstances this week don't get any easier. Saginaw Valley coming into town, and they have run the gauntlet. They've played 3 top 10 teams the last 3 weeks, and while they played with Grand Valley, they probably should have beaten Ferris State, and then they beat Indy this past week. You know they're a talented team. What can you tell everyone about the Cardinals?
Very good football team, excellent defense, and an explosive offense. I think that they've scored a ton of points on everybody, and no one's really stopped them. But they're a complete football team, well-coached football team. It's a great challenge for us, you know, that we actually get excited about. You know, they're a team that I think has jumped back into the top 20, 25. Their only 2 losses are against, you know, what used to be number 1 and number 2 in the country.
Right.
So obviously they're going to be a big challenge. But we just, you know, went toe-to-toe with an undefeated top 25 football team. So we shouldn't feel like this is an overwhelming possibility. It's just another tough battle, which you have every week in the GLIAC.
With Saginaw Valley, I mean, one thing they don't do is make mistakes. I think they've only turned the ball over 6 times to this point in the season. As a defense, and I guess as an offense as well, how much does it help you when you can force the turnovers? I mean, again, go back to the play near the end of Davenport. You thought the Bushman forced fumble, just ripping it away, was going to be the difference. How much does maybe forcing the turnovers and winning the turnover battle in general help you this week?
Absolutely. If we can do that, that gives us a much better chance to win the football game. this isn't a defense that you're going to necessarily have 4 or 5 long drives against because they're too strong, they're too good. But if you can turn the ball over, get a couple short fields, now it's a different ball game.
And you talk about those short fields and the hidden yardage. The one spot where I think, for the most part, start to finish, you've been the most stout at has been special teams. I mean,
Until this week.
well, yeah, you have a kick return or two, but I thought both Hottie and Griffin have been great putting the ball where you need them to put it for the most part. Field goals have been great. You had one block, but that was a long kick anyway. I think special teams have been a strong point for you for the most part, and I think it could play a big role this week.
Yeah, I think special teams has been great for us all year. This past weekend against Davenport, I thought it was the worst special teams we played all year. I thought we didn't punt the ball well. We didn't cover kickoffs well. It was just not the performance that we expect. So we've got to pick that up, and we've got to win the kicking game. Obviously, we had a fake punt that got us a first down, so that was a positive. And that ball, allowing that last punt to roll to the 2-yard line, that is a killer. You can't do that. So we got to fix those things, and the special teams will be up to par again.
Well, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck as Saginaw Valley comes to town.
All right, we'll need some luck sometime.
He's Coach Winters. I'm Brady Beedon, and you're listening to WDTK, The Patriot.